3, 2, 1.
Jai Sripadika Shri Guru Gaurachandra Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Kiraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakaacharya Astatara Siddha Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakaacharya Astatara Siddha Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Radha Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission Morning Class. Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jita Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vidangstam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidangscha Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamandam Dadati Svapadantikam Haribo. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupade Si Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So this is the Antya Lila, Volume 1, and we are coming to the close of it. But we are reading the last chapter, which is Ramachandra Puri criticizes the Lord. So the characteristic of Ramachandra Puri was that first he would induce someone to eat more than necessary, and then he would criticize them.
Ramananda Puri.
Ramananda Puri, he was a god brother, ostensibly, of Ishwara Puri, who was playing the part of guru to Mahaprabhu in his pastimes of teacher of the universe. But Ramachandra Puri was rejected by Madhavendra Puri, who was their guru, because of his criticizing nature. He was very, he criticized his own guru. Purve chabi Madhavendra karena antardana Ramachandra Puri tabe aila tamrastana. Formerly, when Madhavendra Puri was at the last stage of his life, Ramachandra Puri came to where Madhavendra Puri was staying, and Madhavendra Puri was about to close his pastimes in this world. Puru Gosai Kare Krishna Nama Sankirtana Mathurana Painu Bali Karena Krandana. Madhavendra Puri was chanting the holy name of Krishna, and sometimes he would cry, "Oh my Lord, I did not get shelter at Mathura." Ramachandra Puri tabe upadeshetare Shishyahanya Guru ke kahe baya nahi kare. Then Ramachandra was so foolish that he fearlessly dared to instruct his spiritual master. Tumi purna brahmananda karaha smarana brahmavid hanya kene karaha rodana. If you are in full transcendental bliss, he said, you should now remember only Brahman. Why are you crying? Saying, why are you lamenting? You should be absorbed in an undifferentiated Brahman by now. This is what he says to his guru, Madhavendra Puri. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, a Brahman realized person is always happy. Na sochiti na kangshati. He neither laments nor aspires for anything. Not knowing why Madhavendra Puri was crying, Ramachandra Puri tried to become his advisor. Thus he committed a great offense, for a disciple should never try to instruct his spiritual master. Shuni Madhavendra mane kroda upajila, dura dura papista bali bhartsana karila. Hearing this instruction, Madhavendra Puri, greatly angry, rebuked him by saying, "Get out, you sinful rascal."
Who said that?
Madhavendra Puri.
Madhavendra Puri to Ramachandra Puri?
Yeah, because Ramachandra Puri was instructing his guru, Madhavendra Puri, who was in full transcendental separation from Krishna, that he should just absorb himself in the non-differentiated Brahman and become peaceful.
That's what Ramachandra Puri was advising?
Yeah, his guru.
Mayavadi.
Yeah, was influenced by Mayavad, even though his guru was so great, so exalted. But his nature was, my guru doesn't know so much, I'll give him some instruction. Ramachandra Puri could not understand that his spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri, was feeling transcendental separation. His lamentation was not material. Rather, it proceeded from the highest stage of ecstatic love of Krishna. When he was crying in separation, "I could not achieve Krishna, I could not reach Mathura," this was not ordinary material lamentation. Ramachandra Puri was not sufficiently expert to understand the feelings of Madhavendra Puri, but nevertheless he thought himself very advanced. Therefore, regarding Madhavendra Puri's expressions as ordinary material lamentation, he advised him to remember Brahman because he was latently a Maya body. Latently means underneath. Madhavendra Puri understood Ramachandra Puri's position as a great fool and therefore immediately rebuked him. Such a reprimand from the spiritual master is certainly for the betterment of the disciple. Krishna na painu mathura, apana duke maro, dite aila jwala. O my Lord Krishna, I could not reach you, nor could I reach your abode, Mathura. I am dying in my unhappiness, and now this rascal has come to give me more pain. More mukha na dekabitu i jao jati tati. Tore deki maile mora habe asadagati. Don't show your face to me. Go anywhere else you like. If I die seeing your face, I shall not achieve the destination of my life. Krishna na painu muni maron, apanara duke. More Brahma upadeshe echara murte. I am dying without achieving the shelter of Krishna, and therefore I am greatly unhappy. Now this condemned, foolish rascal has come to instruct me about Brahman. Eje Sri Madhavendra Sripada Upeksha Karila, Se Aparade Ihara Bhashana Janmila. Ramachandra Puri was thus denounced by Madhavendra Puri. Due to his great offense, gradually material desire appeared in him. The word bhashana, material desires, refers to dry speculative knowledge. Such speculative knowledge is only material. As confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, a person without devotional service who wants to know things, kevala bodha labdhite, gains only dry, speculative knowledge and no spiritual benefit. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Sandarbha, where it is said, Jivan mukta api punarjanti samsara bhashanam Jaja Chincha Mahashukto Bhagavatya Paradina. Even though one is liberated in this life, if one offends the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he falls down in the midst of material desires, of which dry speculation about spiritual realization is one. Very important verse. This dry speculation, or gyan, which is trying to lead to impersonal non-differentiation, is one kind of material desire. Even though one may be liberated in this life, if one offends the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he falls down in the midst of material desires, of which dry speculation about spiritual realization is one. In other words, that is a material desire. In his Laghu Toshani commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Jiva Goswami says, Jivan mukta api punar bandhanam janti karmabi yadyan yachincha mahashuktau bhagavatya paradina. Even if one is liberated in this life, he becomes addicted to material desires because of offenses to the personality of Godhead. So that type of liberation is nothing permanent. One can fall down from that, as we have done. We begin in that. We begin in the position of liberation, and we become involved in material desires due to our inherent offensiveness. A similar quotation from one of the Puranas also appears in the Vishnu Bhakti Chandrodaya. Jivan mukta prapajante kvachit samsara bhashanam yogino na vilipyante karma bir bhagavat paraha. Even liberated souls sometimes fall down into material desires, but those who fully engage in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead are never affected by material desires. See, you can see the difference, right? So one who is liberated, meaning he's come out of identification with matter, but he has no transcendental love. He has no entrance into the plane of devotion. He's not in a stable position. He can still fall away into material life again. In fact, it's inevitable.
You're speaking about those who want to get out.
Just get out, become liberated from
Material attachment.
But he is the root of that attachment has not gone, and he will again become involved in material life.
How about, can someone that by the goodwill of the Lord make it to the positive plane of divine love and reciprocation? Can that jiva fall down?
Ever. That's the very, very extreme qualification of a pure devotee.
Never.
But once real divine love has awakened in the heart in relation to Krishna, that's never going to be gone.
How about if the Lord wants?
You mean to send someone to this world as like a demon or something? And a pastime?
Like where we are at right now.
No, he never wants that for the jiva. That's the jiva's decision. The Lord has never wants someone to become involved in material life. But that is an option, because we have free will. He's not going to force anyone to love him. And he certainly isn't going to force anyone not to love him.
Can I ask you a question? When we read the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, especially this song
Can
that is
yeah, okay. Sorry.
this one. This one that is an explanation of the fourth verse of the Sixastakam.
Uh-huh.
He says that as a beast or as a bird or in heaven or in hell.
Yeah.
So those are the words of a pure Vaishnava, someone that is in the positive plane.
Oh, but he's not in the consciousness of a bird. If you want me to have the body of a bird, then that's fine. I'll serve you in the body of a bird.
So that means that if you're in hell, you're still in the positive plane?
Yeah. He's not disturbed by that. If that is your decision, that you want me to do service to you, and just give me service there, and I'll be happy. That's the difference. He's not searching in any circumstance for happiness in this world, ever. Not even for a second. So he feels no disappointment in any kind of circumstance. That is transcendental liberation. That is, he actually, see that to get out of the plane of mundanity, but not come to the plane of divine service is not really freedom. Because he's like, I'm not free if I'm over here. But the devotee can be anywhere. He doesn't care where that is. As long as he has divine service, he's happy anywhere. That's real. You see how that's completely, synergistically, completely free. He doesn't have any, he's not asking to get out of this world. If you want me here, I will serve here. In this environment. But he's not in the material world in his consciousness. He has no material consciousness. So wherever he is, he's divine consciousness. So if you want, he's not like suffering in hell like the ordinary jiva souls. But he can be in that environment if the Lord wants him to serve there. He's happy to do that.
This is so interesting. It's inconceivable. So a pure devotee doesn't look for happiness. It's confusing because Mahaprabhu in the first verse of the Shastastakam speaks about this the victory of Sankirtan, which is nectar.
Yeah, that's a different kind of happiness.
And then devotion you were mentioning, devotion itself is nectar. So I think it's very difficult to conceive this because we want to be masters and we're actually looking for pleasure, but we're not looking to give pleasure. So it's difficult to do it not wanting happiness. Actually,
that's okay. It's natural for the jiva soul to want happiness, but we have to know what happiness is. Like you might go out searching for gold, but you better find out what gold is first, or every cheater on the street's going to sell you gold.
That's true.
We have to know what we're looking for. That's the problem. We've been looking in the wrong place.
Would you say Vaishnavas are looking for freedom or for happiness?
Freedom from what?
From their own mind, from falsity.
So, in our stage, because we're approaching devotional life, of course we are concerned about the source of my suffering. And we do have some feeling about that. It is like the negative observation and the knowledge about what is the cause of my suffering and the process of surrender. That probably shouldn't really go on the floor. But, what I'm saying is that's part of our impetus in devotional life. But that will go. That it is a certain stage of devotional process, of progress that we are in. When we see that we are suffering, but the direct connection with Krishna through surrender in the quandary, in the confusion of suffering, is very powerful sadhana. It's not only sadhana, but it is coming to awaken our actual relationship with the Lord. So, but it is true that now we are in a position of suffering, and we don't, but the cause can be revealed by the Lord Himself through surrender. Otherwise we think, oh, I'm suffering because this thing is happening, and I'm suffering because I don't have that. This is all a mistake. We don't know how to understand our suffering, even any more than a madman knows why he's suffering. He has to be cured by a person who is not insane. So we keep pushing. I'm suffering because I don't have this thing. It's wrong. We've had that thing 1 billion times and we're still suffering. We keep making the mistake, pointing out the problem. But what does Guru Maharaj say? Blame yourself. You got yourself into this mess where you're full of material desires that are not even, when fulfilled, fulfilling. You look at a really, really wealthy person in this world, they're miserable beyond, they're off the Richter scale of misery. Unless they have some devotion. I mean, wealth is not, a problem for devotion. But if they're materialistic, their suffering is worse because they have everything they want in unlimited quantity, and it is causing them to become insane. Many, many very wealthy people end their own lives because they cannot stand their life. Prahlad Maharaj said about Hiranyakashipu, my father is the most powerful person in the universe. The demigods were serving his tea. He was so powerful. And he said, there is no more miserable living entity in the world. He has everything. Just snap his fingers and anything he can conceive of. And desires and pleasures that we can't even know because he was in charge of heaven even. And he was miserable, beyond angry, frustrated. So we don't know how to identify our problem. We think it's this thing that I don't have, or this thing that I didn't get, or they're acting like this. It is always wrong. We've misidentified the problem. So what is the problem? Myself. Tatena kampam shishmikshimano. I've gotten myself into this trouble. I am suffering due to my own activities. So I bow down to you, my Lord. I bow down. The suffering has come to help me. But I don't know my problem. It looks to me like it's this. It looks to me like this is my problem. If this thing is solved, then I'm going to be happy. But I know from the teachings of our gurus that this is not true. I'm misidentifying my problem. So I bow down to this suffering that you're sending me to rectify what I broke, to fix what I broke, and show me my service, show me where I am wrong, as you like. This is direct sadhana. And we can go on misidentifying our problems forever in this world. You can do it. But every time we make that mistake, we've got another reaction coming. because we're misidentifying on the plane of exploitation. So we're just going to get ourselves in more trouble. But gradually, through devotional practices in the 4 ashrams, that can also be accomplished. But it has to be in the mood of surrender in any ashram, or it will become entangling. Yes, sir?
I was yesterday hearing readings by Sriman Mahaprabhu. Like a few years ago, he was reading called the Volcano of Divine Love. He was reading with Arun Krishna Prabhu. I forgot the name of this devotee, but he resides in Italy, Chintamoy.
Oh, Chinmoy.
Chinmoy Prabhu.
Yeah.
Another devotees. They were on Zoom. And he read that Guru Maharaj was explaining that our hearts are tied up and sealed. We cannot perceive the harmony and the divinity in everywhere.
Yeah.
We cannot perceive that love because we're tied up and sealed. But by chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, the heart opens up a little bit more and a little bit more. And when finally it opens up, he can perceive reality as it is. And then the Jiva soul will have attained the highest attainment. So by hearing that, it was impactful because I still misidentify my problems and I'm going after things that after hearing Guru Maharaj are not as high as I thought. But I'm still very confused because the Vaishnavas, they are feeling this divine frustration, divine lamentation, divine suffering. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, either if he's in sorrow or in happiness, I want to chant your names. But at the same time, we're doing it for happiness. So what will you recommend me with what angle of vision to practice? What is the goal? Is it happiness or is it devotion? What is the difference?
Happiness is devotion. As you mentioned, to speak now. But we are used to the idea of happiness being self-centered. That's our idea about happiness. Happiness means what's coming to me, what I'm getting. But happiness, that is in the plane of death. Material happiness is in the plane of death. It's temporary. And there's a reaction. Because it's selfish. So we just have to change our definition of happiness. And ask for that. And again, you're mentioning the Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs in the Shikshastakam. Let me love you as much as I now love sense gratification. Let me love you. Let me give to you, and so that the love is not changing. The word love is not changing. But how we're loving, what it means to love is changing a lot. So happiness, of course we're going to seek happiness. Only, who doesn't seek happiness? But the definition of happiness is going to change. Let me seek happiness in giving myself to you. Let me do that. And your mind's going to go, oh, wait a second. And you just, shh. I listened to you for billions and billions of births. And you never told me the truth. You're a cheater, and I don't want to listen to you anymore. But it's hard to detach from the mind. It's like Stockholm syndrome. in Stockholm during the Olympics, I think it was, some people were kidnapped and taken hostage. And after a while, they became attached to their captors. So we're like that. We've become attached to our captors, even though they're abusing us without mercy, day in and day out. So there's so many things to consider, like the facets of a jewel. The facets means the little. There's so many things to consider in devotional life. But the central thing, Guru Maharaj said, you must understand, everything is harmonious, everything is beautiful. And conscious and sympathetic. But we have a bad relationship with that. And we must change that. That is our sadhana. So we are redefining happiness. We're seeking happiness. There's no way around that. But selfish happiness and unselfish happiness are completely opposite. I mean, divinely unselfish, not relatively unselfish in this world. But there's also always an element of selfishness in that.
You're expressing the idea that we take decisions based on a point of reference. In this case, the mind and devotion for the Lord. So when you were expressing the idea that we have been in this material world over and over again because we have taken a decision based on the direction of our mind, my question would be,
well, our initial desire is that I will be in an environment which is lower than myself and in which I can exploit. That's the initial desire.
Exploitation, right?
And that comes through ahankar. I'm the doer, I'm the maker, I'm making this happen for my enjoyment. And from ahankar comes mundane intelligence. How will I do this? What will work? And then the mind comes from that. The mind is like a black box, like we were talking about. It's the box of impressions and memories and all these tendencies. So in one lifetime, we've had some lesson and we decide that I'm going to be happy by just getting my way. And that doesn't work. And then later on you come to another birth and you think, well, I'm going to be happy by letting other people, do this or that. And we've made all these decisions based on what's going to work for me. And then we form a personality that is very unstable.
Interesting. So it is the consciousness. It's like the improper acquaintance, right, with the environment that determines how we...
It is so improper. It's offensive. The environment is made of something higher than I am. We're to love and honor. Guru Maharaj said, you will feel reverence wherever you look. And now we're thinking, oh, that's for me, I'm going to get that and use that. So, shadow.
It's so interesting because when we see the environment as masters, we get bored of something that we have used a lot of times. It becomes so familiar that it becomes boring. It's just incredible.
And now we're entering into infinity. But how will you enter infinity? As a loving person, as a member, as a giver in that loving environment. You can't come into a loving environment as an exploiter.
No.
Why? That's impossible. It's a terrible thing. You can never, Guru Maharaj said, the idea of personal enjoyment in the divine place is what did he use a word? Like reprehensible. Like what? Just a very nasty feeling. Like, what?
So this is our practice, to become givers.
To become a member of that divine environment, which is all around us. But this is going to take some battles.
Oh yeah.
It's going to take some battles, big battles.
I was reading to Guru Maharaj last
But
night.
by the grace of the Lord. This is one story. Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada said, if Krishna likes you, he may give you everything. But if he loves you, he'll take it all away. So we have to be ready.
I hope he doesn't love me yet.
Don't say that.
Yeah, maybe it's so foolish to say that. I'm just so afraid.
I know, I get
was-
it. I mean, I'm pretending to be, but I understand. I'm not pretending, but I understand. I mean, it is a battle. We know, we have battle scars.
The battle resides on the idea that we must become literally slaves in that plane. I was reading that from Guru Maharaj last night. He was saying that in infinity, in divinity, everything surrounding you is your master. So it is impossible to have a relationship with the infinity if you think you're a master. So when I read the word slave,
Of course.
I don't like it.
No, nobody likes that word.
And
We want to get slave. We want to get paid for what we're doing. But in that
Oh my
plane,
God.
the greatest devotee is the greatest slave. Because actually, when you think about this, Prabhu, is there really any noble relationship of love that is not slavery? If you think of love, it is naturally slavery. I mean, real love. I'm not talking about this love. There's no love here. There's some semblance. But will there be like a mercantile relationship in real love? It must be slavery. That is the most noble position. That is this position of actual fulfillment of the heart. But fulfillment in the plane of infinity means I want to give more. What I am is not enough. I want to give more than what I am. And getting something back for that, it's just nasty. This is actual love. We have never heard of it before. We have never heard of it. Shame on us. Even in the Veda, does not approach that. Very, very rare verses, which were mined by the 6 Goswamis. You know that Nana Shastra Vicharane Kanipuno. They were so expert. They found all those little jewels that are referring to actual divine love in the Veda, but they're not that many. Most of the Veda is materialistic. You do this, you're going to get this. And heaven is a much clearer kind of atmosphere than here. So it's warned. Don't become overwhelmed by the flowery words of the Vedas. They're going to snatch you away with a kind of higher happiness, but it's still mundane. Even the mystics are mundane. And here we just heard divine speculation for relieving oneself of material connection is mundane. because it's not love. It's just a fine kind of mundanity. Self-centeredness with envy of the Lord. If I'm not the controller and the enjoyer, there isn't one. That is envy. If I'm not God, there isn't a God. This is the very big problem with impersonalism and Buddhism. It's envious. They don't want to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why should He be God? Why shouldn't I be God? It's like absurd. It's God? I mean, we look like bugs. The universe is like a piece of dust. The universe is like, and we think that I'm going to have that position? I'm having trouble getting from one place to another. My car might run out of gas. I mean, it's like, but is that's just our fate? We're just going to be this miserable little tiny insignificant jiva soul? No. In divine love of Krishna, the jiva soul becomes so glorious. Beloved. Beloved. Why would we want something more than to be beloved to the Lord? We're just imagining stupid things. We don't know anything. But now we're learning something. Your questions are very good questions. Into all important subjects. Because that basic I want to be the whatever is our problem. It's really, if we could get one tiny moment of just a moment, a momentary impression about the sweet nature of the environment, all sweetness, all guardians, all affectionate, all perfect, then we can see how reprehensible our condition is, that we would ever want to exploit them. And we can't exploit them any more than Ravana can exploit Sita. He couldn't see Sita. So we're little Ravanas trying to exploit what is so sweet and beautiful that we can't even see it. But anyway, we don't want to, that's, now we're coming to the plane of Tatenu Kampam Shushamikshimano Bunjane Vatmakritam Pipakam. Guru said, this is our internal relationship and external. We're trying to see everything properly, and inside Nahi Kalyana Kaschit Durgatim Tatgachati. This is our internal comforting, giving comfort. Don't worry, you try to do this. Nothing bad will result from this attempt. Nothing bad can ever be the result of this attempt. So don't worry. Durgatin Tatgachati. Never. You cannot come to a bad result from trying to approach me. I will help you. And what you don't have, I will carry that. And what you do have, I will preserve it. So these are really nice purport here. Jivan mukta prapajyante kvachit sansara vasanam yogino na vilipyante karma bir bhagavat paraha. Even liberated souls sometimes fall down to material desires, but those who fully engage in devotional service to the personality of Godhead are not affected by these desires. These are references from authoritative revealed scriptures. If one becomes an offender to his spiritual master or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he falls down to the material platform to merely speculate. I think this. No joy in there at all. Haribo. Very good questions, Prabhu.
Good response, Didi.
You're hearing them. Now you can share that. We're just hearing something and trying to share it. And trying to practice it also. And we know that we're going to fight other battles in the future. Because, this is that process of gradual elimination of the mundane. It takes some time. And we will fight battles. And then we will bow down. And those battles are hard because we have invested in so many stupid, illusory things. And they will come and knock on the door. And we have to face them. And it will be a good battle. Forget these other battles. We just got like 10 minutes. Are you good? Do you have another question?
Yeah. Is Sharanagati surrender only about purification or condition? Or also pure devotees? In Vrindavan they also do Sharanagati.
Well, they are full Sharanagatas. They're not practicing. They've come, Guru Maharaj said, they've come to become a normal thinking man. But of course, what I'm trying to say is, of course, in the divine plane of Vrindavan, Sharanagati has come to its most glorious manifestation. Sharanagati is our natural relationship with the Lord. So we're practicing that direct thing. Good morning, Ananya Sundari. We're practicing directly what is our eternal relationship with the Lord. Not something else, and then to have a different result. But this is the direct relationship with the Lord. But it will become more and more alive and glorious. But now, it is that purifying stage. But why not through Sharanagati? Krishna is saying, Aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shricha. I will do this. You just come to me. Sarvadharmam prichajav. Don't worry about all these, sort of indirect methods. Dharma. Mam ekam sharanam. Just surrender to me. Sharanam. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. All this sinful tendency, all these illusions from that are the results of your activities in the past. Mokshayishyami. I will take that away from you myself. So easy for me. Maya Devi's my servant. Mashucha, don't worry about it. I got you. But you have to make the effort. You have to make the effort simply to surrender to me. Jai Mahaprabhu. Jai Giraraju Ki Jai. Again and again we're hearing these things, and again, because they're so hard. We will come to those battlefields, and these things that we're hearing from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada, those will come to our rescue. We have to remember all these things on the battlefield. And you don't know, one day, all of a sudden, some circumstance will come and it will poke you right in your disease. Like the doctor in the old days, before, maybe now also a little bit. The music of the mundane world.
It's a ritual.
You know, the doctors in the old days, before x-rays and all that, they just poke you. Does that hurt? Does it hurt here? Is this where it hurts? It's like, ouch! But he's your friend. He's not your enemy. But the environment will come to poke you. And then we have to take shelter of the Supreme Physician. Because they're all doing his seva.
I love what you're sharing.
Huh?
I love what you're sharing. A couple of days I was reading in the Prapana Jivanamrita, the chapter of Gopirte Varanam. And I understand why that's the most important limb of surrender.
Beautiful.
Because these exalted Vaishnavas were expressing that he's the ultimate shelter. Like, he's the only shelter.
Yeah. And he's our guardian? How did that happen? That's like the news that is too good to believe. It's like, wow, the Supreme Controller is my guardian? What in the world? Supreme sweetness? The Supreme gentle? The Supreme, what does Guru Maharaj say? He's an aggressor. He will aggressively come to take you. And he said, and he is, his consuming quality is unlimited. He will consume unlimited service. That means he's not like, I don't need you guys. I got a lot of good servants already. Thanks. You can go home now. No, I will take your love, your service. He's God. It's so wondrous. But he says, but he's reckless.
He's a debauchee.
He's a debauchee. He does what he likes. He's reckless. He has no rules. Nothing is binding his activities. Rules are for criminals. He doesn't have any rules. Every single movement of his is the essence of nectar. Who else will we surrender to? Kangva Dayalum Sharanam Bhajema. Dayalum means so gentle. What more gentle? Who else who is so gentle would I surrender to? Who drank the milk of Putana. Very beautiful verse, this verse. Suddenly I can't remember the verse line. But he drank her milk and gave her an eternal position as a mother. Kangva Dayalum Sharanam Bhajema. We have to dive into something overwhelming to us. Guru Maharaj said, one drop of Krishna will drown you. Will drown you in an ocean of nectar. But we cannot exploit him. We cannot exploit the holy name. That's offense. We cannot exploit the Lord. We have to surrender completely. Every drop of our being must be for him. And then we will see the environment. Guru Maharaj says we must make ourselves liberal. We must make ourselves optimistic. Optimistic means seeing good everywhere in order to meet the optimistic outside. We must make ourselves of that quality. And how are we going to do that? No way. But Krishna can do that. We have to surrender to the Vaishnavas and surrender to Mahaprabhu and surrender to Krishna. He's the one who can make us what we must be through whatever means he chooses. Queen Kunti said, do what you like. But when you were sending all these difficulties, the poison cake, the palace that was going to be the blazing fire of that palace, we were exiled. Do it. Make me unwanted. Make me a beggar in the street. Make me exiled, excommunicated, quarantined. Make my family reject me. Do, my Lord, almost gentle. Do whatever it is that you deem fit for me, to make me fit to enter into your eternal pastimes. That prayer of Queen Kunti is very beautiful. But it's not just some theory. It's real. She's coming from her heart. So we're worshipping all these things, puja la ragapata guaravabang, and we're trying to do our duty really well and do it for him. If I feel like I need to get some exercise, go and do it for him. It's not like, oh no, this is the non-Krishna part of my life. No, let him come and teach me through everything I'm doing. Do it all for him. I'm cleaning the floor. Maybe I have my own apartment and I'm cleaning the floor. Oh, this is not the temple, so I'm just going to let my mind wander and I'll listen to some stupid music. Or whatever it is we need to do. But do it for him. My Lord, look at me, I'm so stupid. I'm such a fool. But let me do this for you. And you come and show me, but don't leave him out of anything you're doing. And do it well. Do it well for him. It can really be anything. But do it well.
That's like the different categories of devotees, right? Will you please remind us the 3 different categories of devotees, the ones that they only practice spiritual life only when they come to the temple, and then they have their own
life.
thing. What is it that type of devotee?
Oh, you're thinking of Kanishta Adhikari?
Yeah, Kanishta Adhikari.
Yeah.
Then the devotee that there is 2 more.
Kanishta
right?
means that he thinks that the Lord is living in the temple. And he doesn't have any connection really with the Vaishnavas. That's the general definition of Kanishta Adhikaris, but I know what you're saying. But he's coming to the temple and he says, Krishna's in the temple. And now I come and do Krishna things. God is like stuck in the temple. You know, he's just in the temple doing stuff for me that I come and pray to him to do for me. There's some faith there, but it's very... But then when the Madhyama Adhikari stage comes, he becomes all aware of the devotees. The devotees become very important. And Guru Maharaj says, it's like you're approaching a mountain, you just see a mountain. And then as you approach, you say, wow, there's a lot going on this mountain. So the devotees and the paraphernalia and all the different things become revealed. And what is the paraphernalia? Oh, there's a paraphernalia all around us in devotion. But where our mind is like, our brain, you know, like our life is so tiny. We can't see anything.
And then there's one more.
And then Uttama. Uttama doesn't see anything that's not Krishna. He's thinking the only non-Krishna thing is in my own heart. Everything else is glorious but me. And then he's feeling separation.
That's the Vaishnava.
That's the Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava. And just by seeing him, Jashtai Sabhava Janitaya, like that Uttama who Nindadi Hridam Shunyam Ipshitam, that's that person. He doesn't have any envy. Envy comes from exploitation. He doesn't have any of that. He's only seeing divinity. And just by seeing him, you will want to chant the holy name. Just his presence is, Srila Prabhupada, wherever he went, everybody's chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna. But we have to keep on. We have to please our Guru. We have to keep on with this fight. We can't just live in the past. We have to keep moving, keep fighting, keep understanding what is the nature of that fight and what am I fighting for. All these things have to be understood. This is Vigyan. Vigyan means systematic understanding. Otherwise it's vague. It's all vague, God, and it's all just a big mush. And Guru Maharaj said, so we're going from chaos to cosmos. Cosmos means a system. Everything is a system. It all has a place, and that's some everything has a place and it has a meaning. Everything is very definable in that sense. And we have to come closer and closer to understanding everything properly. Not just this big merge, just a bit, just vagueness. Guru Maharaj said you must begin to understand things carefully, or your Krishna consciousness will be vague. Or your practice will be vague. And I'm telling you, vague doesn't work. We will become bored. You can't stay a baby forever. But my Guru said, yes, okay, you were a baby then. Then what did he say after that? Did he want you to stay a baby for your whole ever? It's not all on the same level. Everybody's practicing on their level, but we have to stay good where we are and move forward when we can. That's Guru Maharaj. Stay where you are. Don't go down, but go forward, or you will go down. You're not going to stay in one place. You're just going to go back to your old habits and try to find something there. We have to go forward. And this is troublesome. We want comfort. We want to. That's not spiritual life. Hey, you're hearing about the pastimes of Vrindavan. Is this comfort? Then you'll go to Brahma Nirvana. It's divinely joyous, but there's all kinds of calamities happening. It is awesome. It's not boring. It's intensely increasing love at every second. All right. I love your questions. Very much appreciated.
Jai Srimati Lekha Devi Dasi.
Jai Guru, Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai. All right, well, Jai Upadesha Amrita ki Jai. Your worship. And chant these verses. Oh, I don't want to stop without chant. Let's just chant them real quick. Up to number 8. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam jiva vegam udara pasta vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dira sarvam apimam prithivim sasisyat atyahara prayasascha prajapo niyamagraha Janasangasthaloyam cha sadvir bhaktir vinashati Utsanishchayadarya tat karma pravartana Sangatyaga sato vitte sadvir bhakti prasidyati Dadati pratigagnati guhyam akyati pruchiti bhungte bojayate chaiva sadvidam priti lakshanam Krishneti asya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranadibhisha bhajantam isham Shushushaya vajana vigyam ananyamanya Nindari shunya hridamipsita sangalabdya Dustai svabhava janite vapushashcha doshe Matna prakritatvam miha bhakta janasya pasye Gangam vasana khalu buddhapena panke Brahmadravatvam apagachati niradanai Shya Krishna nama charitari sitapya vidya Pitopatapta rasanasya narochikanu Kinvadaram manudinam kalu svaivajishta Sadvikramad bhavati tadgadam mulahantri Tannama rupa charitari sukirtananu Smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya Tishtam vrajeta danuragi jaganugami Kalam nayeda kilam idyupadesha sharam Haribo. All right. Jai Shri Rupa Goswami Pad.
Jai.
Jai. The depth of what is given by our gurus, we will continue to try to enter into some of these beautiful verses. Hari Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Srimadhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Srimadhusudan Giridhari Gopinath
Jai.
Shakiraj Govardhanju ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi ki jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Madhacharya Vrinda ki jai. Sannyasi Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Sat Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Saparshad Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopina Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda
Giri
Giri
Govardhan.
Govardhan ki jai. Jai Chaitanya Saraswati Mat ki jai. Tadiyas Akama ki jai. Chaitanya Saraswati Mission ki jai. Kol Kartal ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki jai. Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Another day, a festival day in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Haribo, Srimati
All the
Lekha
devotees
Dasi ki
all
jai.
devotees ki jai.
Jai. Kum Didi says Dandavat, Dandavat. Bima Krishna Prabhu offering his obeisances and a flower.